Hi guys, my name's Sam. Welcome to a monthly makes episode here on the Wool & Time channel. Yeah, it's been a while and I've changed my name again. and yeah. I don't know, it's been so long since I've recorded like a proper podcasty type episode that it feels really super weird. And yeah, forgive the clutter. I still haven't given Christmas presents to people yet. It's fine. It's just the end of January, isn't it? Um, and of course, my cat heard me talking in here in a podcasty way, so he had to join us. So let's see how well he does at not knocking over my tripod. Please and thank you. All right. So basically, my plan today and my plan for these is that I'll go through all my FOs from a month and then do any whips and then just kind of like chat at the end. I decided that for this year I'm just going to try to do monthly videos for crafting stuff just because I think that it will be easier and, you know, less hard on me. So yeah, we'll go over what my year was like last year and why I kind of disappeared. But for now, let's go into FOs. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and I'm going to show one FO that was from November because I'm really super proud of it and I want to talk about it. So I made the Witching Hour Swan Show and the yarn that I used was Kelbourne Woolen Scout. I got most of it in a D-stash, but the rest of it I bought from the store. And this is actually sold at my local yarn store now, and it's probably my favorite plain DK yarn that I've worked with. I like this like woolly type yarn. But yeah, I did it in just like this dark charcoal and then like a creamy white color, and I love it. I haven't worn it a whole lot yet, but every time I've worn it, I've gotten compliments. It's just been really weird weather and I haven't been going anywhere. And I feel like you really have to be going somewhere to wear something like this. Maybe I'll wear it this weekend. But yeah, this is my favorite thing that I made last year, and I can't wait to find cute ways to wear it. Yeah. Oh, I love it so much. This has been on my list to make basically since it came out, and I waited and waited because I wasn't super comfortable with color work, but kind of just got over it because I wanted it this so bad. This was like my treat at the end of the year for like getting a bunch of stuff done that I needed to get done, is I took the time to actually sit down and knit this, and yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't think I really did much modification. I did definitely knit the body longer than it was supposed to be, but that was just my own personal preference because I like to have a bit of a longer sweater. But yeah, it's so freaking cute. Look how beautiful that is. Yeah, so I'm still planning my next sweater project. I haven't really thought about what I want to knit sweater wise this year. I have mostly smaller projects. I'm going to talk about my whole like stash project later. But yeah, so that was a finished object from last year. All right, finished objects from this year, from this month. So I started working on stuff right at the beginning of the year, and I've been finishing things at a pretty rapid pace, I would say. So the first thing that I finished was the Age of Brass and Steam kerchief. I used Casual Fashion Queen DK yarn for this. I don't remember the colorway off the top of my head. I don't think I have a lot of the colorways written down for most of this because I don't have the labels anymore. But yeah, I won this yarn in the Jessie Made Along when I made the Ripple Bralette, and I was waiting for like a nice shawl to use it for, and decided to go with something simple because the colors are so beautiful. So yeah, just a little shawlette. Look how cute it is. Yeah. And then for my socks, I'm still trying to knit a pair of socks a month this year. I have lots of little challenges for myself to try to keep myself busy. So for January, I knit the Laid Edges socks. This sunlight is just absolutely wild. I knit the Laid Edges socks. This yarn is Cat Sandwich Fibers DK in, I think it's like the Sailor Pluto colorway because I really like Sailor Moon. And yeah, I was just looking for a nice DK weight sock that wasn't going to be completely vanilla socks, but Also wasn't going to be like super complicated because I've been super busy, and yeah, so that's where I got these. They have a nice little cable detail. I don't know if you can see it pretty well there. And yeah, I kind of wanted another pair of warmer socks. I work from home, so having a nice pair of warm socks that I can slip on in the morning when my feet are super cold was important to me. Also because it's still winter here and it's really cold. And there's been lots of... My snow boots are a size too big, or like 2 sizes too big, honestly. So I have to wear really thick socks in my snow boots so that they don't flop around while I'm walking, so... and then some hand spun yarn. I have not been spinning that much. I started spinning this in September because I was like, yes, I want to spin some fall yarn. And I was too busy and I didn't finish it until this month. So I've been using my Plyology wheel that I got from the Kickstarter last year. Really love it. It has a lot of space. They released a Lazy Kate. Let me show you. Hello, Lewis. Stuck. So they have a 3D printed Lazy Kate that goes with the bobbins. And yeah, so the way that these work, they have little like spaces and there's a spring so you can just lock it on so it's easy to get them on and off. And yeah, there's a spot for 3. So when I had gotten it on the Kickstarter, when I had gotten it from the Kickstarter, it came with a coupon code that was good till the end of the year. Just so happened in summer that right before that expired, they released the Lazy Kate, so I used my coupon code so that I could get the Lazy Kate. And I think I also got a free bobbin for it as well from just like reviewing it after I got my Kickstarter thing. But anyway, spinning. So I finished spinning this fiber. I got this from a D-stash from Sultan, and it's 63% Polworth, 25% Tussa silk, and 12% flax. So it turned out really cool because like the flax this sunlight, oh my god. The flax it's making it hard it's beautiful. The sunlight is beautiful, but it's making it really hard to show things. But the flax is kind of just like sprinkled in throughout. It's really pretty. I don't remember how much I ended up getting out of it, but it's a nice plush amount. I don't have these kind of colors in my stash, yarn-wise, that much. So it's just adding more to my hand-spun stash. I'm also really bad at using my hand-spun. I'm really hoping to come up with some projects that I can start using my hand-spun. I also pulled fiber. This is more D-stash fiber from Sultan, but I'm going to spin this in February because Valentine's Day. It's all like purples and pinks. So I made a pillow for my cats. This is a scrappy project. I am trying to reduce my stash this year, but I'm also still trying not to waste a lot. So what are you doing, Lewis? Come here. You wanna come say hi? Louie. Hold on. I'll get you a cat. Say hello, Lewis. Oh, baby. He's in a hoodie because he's been bad today, and like he calms down when he's in a sweater, so. There's Louie. Beautiful boy in the sunshine. So speaking of cats, I made this little cat pillow. So next to my desk, I work from home, if I haven't mentioned that already. Next to my desk is usually a blanket because I'll put a blanket in my lap in the morning when I'm cold, and the cats like to lay on the blanket, so I thought I'd make them a cute little pillow for when they want to snuggle in the mornings, usually. So I had this leftover yarn from Blue Sky Fibers from various projects. I used them a couple times in the past couple years. I got they have like a mitten kit with like little minis of the different colors, and then I had bits left over from a hat design that I did, the adventure hat, and so yeah, I made it all together. I just basically crocheted in a tube and alternated between the gray and the other colors until I ran out, and then I just finished with this maroon color. Yeah, I don't know. little cat pillow. Here you go. You just stared at it like, what? What do you want me to do with that? Anyway, stash busting. And then for donations. So over the past year or so, I've been buying a lot of D-stash yarn, including stuff that is kind of inexpensive, like acrylic yarn, and I just have leftover acrylic yarn from projects like my writer's block cardigan and some stuff that I've made for other people. I don't really use acrylic that much when I'm crocheting anymore or knitting. I don't use acrylic that much when I'm making that stuff that much anymore. I tend to gravitate towards, like I said, the like rougher wool. But I still want to make sure that I use it and it's not going to waste. So I've been making a lot of donation hats. So like I have this whole basket full of various hats in different colors. I'm trying to make more darker colors because I feel like that's always something that's requested, is like darker colors. But I'm using the yarn that I have because basically once I'm done with my master's degree, I want to start getting involved with more mutual aid stuff in my area. And I know places are always looking for like hats and mittens and stuff. And it's just kind of nice to have a stash on hand of already completed projects so that when a call goes out saying, hey, we need hats and stuff, I can just have them already so that I can send them off to someone who needs them. So yeah, so I have those hats made. They're just like a simple crochet hat. I basically keep the pattern on my desk, and then anytime that like I'm sitting in a meeting or something at work, I'll just pick one of them up and work on them. So and then so I'm also working on my master's degree, which I'm going to talk about later, but for my capstone, which is what I'm about to finish right now, I actually have a workshop planned. It started last weekend. The second session is this weekend. I have the second session planned for this coming Sunday, and then I'll be done and I'll have to finish writing my paper, which is taking a long time, and I'm working on it pretty much every day from now until I'm done so that I can graduate. What we're doing in the class is a beginner crochet class. So I have two cowls here. This is the one that I made as my example when I was like getting people to sign up. And then this is the one that I've worked on for the class. There's still ends on it because I need to finish it off. There's actually like, this is fun. I'm very, very close to finishing this row, like about that close. And I ran out of yarn, and I think I have a little bit of extra from the previous one because I didn't finish the last row. So I think I'm just gonna use the last bit so that I can get a full last row of this one. But these are gonna go in my donation bin then too. They're nice, warm, thick, bulky weight cowls. So yeah, gonna pop those over there. And then, so this is I'll actually do this one next. So one of my other little projects for this year to keep me busy once my master's degree is done and then I suddenly have all the free time in the world again, is that I am trying to enhance my wardrobe. I kind of gave up on carrying what I was wearing for the past few years just because, like, I don't know. I didn't know what I wanted to wear, and like my tastes changed so rapidly that I was always afraid to actually like invest in anything. This past year, I actually started buying some clothes. This is a dress from Foxblood. It's really, really cute. It has these little like poofy sleeves and like a tiered skirt. It's a maxi dress, and it actually fits me, even though I'm only 5'1", 5'2" on a good day. So yeah, I've been finding more, I like to wear black a lot, and I'm trying to, this year, really focus on creating more items that will fit into my wardrobe that I'm happy with, that I like a lot. Sorry, I have to keep redirecting the cat. So yeah, so the plan is that I want to make at least one clothing item a month so that at the end of the year, that's 12 new items. I want to practice my sewing skills because I got a little rusty. I used to sew a lot more when I was younger, just doing like little projects and stuff. and then I got kind of out of it, and then I got into costuming for a little bit, but it was just very costume light. Last year I made entire Renaissance Fair costumes. I posted some pictures of that on my Instagram. I'll probably post more pictures this year because I'm sure we'll go to the Renaissance Fair again. We don't have season passes this year, at least not yet. But we went to the Renaissance Fair almost every weekend the past 2 years. Because it was one of the only events that we could find that was open that had like decent like distancing and masking rules, and like they limited their capacity so that it wasn't like crowded. There were a couple weekends that were a little iffy, but overall I was like, hey, I don't feel bad about going outside and watching jousting, you know? So I made full costumes, we went blah, blah, blah. That helped with my sewing stuff. But I made my first outfit for this month, or the first clothing item for this year, this month. I started making a video of it, but then I didn't really like it. I do like watching other people do like garment type videos, and I would like to try to expand into that, but I just am not there yet. I'm hoping in the next maybe the next month, I'm gonna get a camera so that I can take better video footage. So maybe next month there'll be a video about clothing. I don't know. This is easy to film on my phone. I'm rambling. Anyway, I made the Woolfolk dress. It's gonna be hard to see because it's black. But I made the Woolfolk dress from the Embodied collection by Jacqueline Cieslak. This was my first time doing French seams, so that was an adventure. I did pretty well. There were a couple areas that were a little iffy, but I did pretty well. It looks really nice. I got patch pockets in the front. You can't see them. They're down here. Hold on. I'm finding them. These pockets. Hello, pockets. Can you see the pockets? There, you can kind of see the pockets. Yeah. I still have the fabric right here to make the waist tie, which I haven't yet, but I wore it this weekend for the first time. I love it a lot. It fits perfectly. I didn't even do all the spreadsheet stuff because I don't read directions usually. I actually skipped a few directions on this and I still managed to figure out how to get it to work. But yeah, I'm notorious for not reading all the directions on things and skipping things. And I saw the spreadsheet, and maybe for like a future project I'll actually do a spreadsheet, but I ended up being just fine doing it without doing calculations to see if I needed a full bust adjustment. I probably did. Let's be honest, I probably did because I have a large chest area. But whatever. I'm happy with the finished product. It looks nice. My sewing machine only gave moderate issues to me during the making of it. I had a lot of like things coming unthreaded and things not lining up. I have a lot to learn in the sewing realm if I want to do better than this, but I mean, all in all, like I was wearing it and I didn't get any compliments, and I almost take that as a compliment because it is just like a plain dress, but like it doesn't look handmade really. Not that looking handmade is a problem, but it was just like I'm so used to the stuff that I make for myself to wear looking handmade, and I mean sewing, like looking handmade, that I'm like, this looks good. Yeah, so I made the Woolfolk dress, and I did the sleeveless one with pockets, and the only modification that I did, since I didn't follow the spreadsheet, the only modification that I did is I shortened it significantly, and I'm really glad that I did, once again, because I'm short, and I looked at the length it was supposed to be in like the pictures, and I was like, that is going to be incredibly long on me, so I'm gonna need to shorten it. I think I might have shortened it like 6 inches, so it falls just below the knee, and then the like sides dip down and they go down to my calves, and it's just nice. So I'm sure you will see me wearing that at some point because it's now one of my favorite things. And then the last thing that I made, which is still kind of a work in progress, but I'm gonna show it anyway, is I made a volunteer basket by Swanky Emu Knits. I used the Patton's classic wool for it. So this is the small size. I also have fisherman's wool. I'm going to make the large size, just kind of prepping for the garden this year. This is only run through the washer one time to be felted, so it's definitely not there yet. But it's getting there. It looks pretty good so far. You know, you can kind of see that it's starting to felt, but I know that this wool felts really well because I've made like cup, like coffee cup slip things out of it. So yeah, volunteer basket. I need to felt it a lot. Anyway, let's talk about whips. My first whip is a whip that you will have seen a lot if you watched my Potager Knits podcast, because I started it in 2019. And it is my northeasterly blanket. I'm still chugging along on it. I actually didn't work on it that much last year and have already made good progress this year on getting it going. Mostly because I had started working on it in therapy, and then I fired my therapist because she sucked. And then didn't want to work on this because I kind of associated it with therapy. But anyway, it's getting large. I can't even put it all in the frame. Here, I'll lean back. Wow, blanket. Let's see. I'm making like the lap blanket size. Let me see how many columns I have. 1, 2, 3. So I'm just about to finish my 12th column, and I think it said 20 would make like a good square. So whatever it seems like it's a square is when I'm done, and I want to finish it before my birthday in December, because my plan for my birthday, assuming that the world doesn't end before then, is that I would like to rent a cabin with a couple of my friends, because I'm turning 30 this year, and like have a cozy little like fancy food, wine, warm drinks, board games, that kind of thing kind of weekend, like a cute little cozy cabin weekend. One can dream. But my birthday's in December, so that's a while off, but I would like to have this done and take it with me and cozy up in it because it's kind of full of memories. I've been working on it since my birthday in 2019, and a lot has happened since then, and it's just kind of like, I don't know, I'm a super sentimental, emotional person, so having something like this where like a lot of life events in my past couple years have been marked by like working on this blanket, yeah, feels like a good retrospective for your 30th birthday. So I'm gonna finish it. So I've been trying to chip away at it little by little at night because of, you know, I need some wind down time before I go to bed. So I'll like turn on TV and just work on my blanket, or my next whip, which is also a long-term whip. Not that you would have seen this one. So I've been working on a cross stitch since October. I can't show you the whole thing because it's on one of these things. I hate these, by the way. Or maybe it's, I don't know if it's just the one that I have, but like this thing slides around so much, like I have to constantly readjust it to keep the fabric taut. So this is not something I will be using a whole lot. I like my scroll thing a lot better. It stays a lot tighter and it's easier to adjust because I'm only adjusting in one direction. Yeah, this is garbage. I don't know. Some people swear by these. I don't know if they just have better ones that are like tighter and don't slip, but, or if there's like some mysterious thing I'm missing here that like makes these work better. I don't know. Okay, I'm done complaining. So anyway, this is a Halloween countdown cross stitch by Stitchonomy. Yeah, I have this much left to do, but at the beginning of the year, I think I might have still been up like here. So I've been chipping away at it. I got really behind in October. What can I say? Yeah. I'm just ready to be done with this one. I have another cross stitch that's in my bag over there that I've been working on for a while, the National Parks one, which I like a lot better, but I just convinced myself that I really wanted to do all these other cross stitch projects last year. Like I finished this too. I love Junebug and Darlin's pattern, so I got the big maker one. I want to get the big knitter one too. This I still need to just like mount. I have a shitty cross stitch section on my entryway in my entryway to my apartment that's just like cross stitches that my wife and I have finished, and I have so I have OCD, like actual OCD, not just the like, oh, I'm very particular. I have OCD, and looking at it terrifies me. It looks horrible because I just basically nail nails into the wall and slap a cross stitch up. It just looks fucking terrible, and my brain won't stop looking at it. But I don't want to lay it out. I know that there are ways that you can like lay out little like gallery wall type things, but this is like, I meant for that section to be something that's built upon, and I just don't have the energy to make it look better, so I kind of had to like reconcile the like, I know this is gonna bother me, but it's it's not worth the effort to make it not bother me. And that's been a lot of my dealing with my OCD, is like, this is gonna bother me, it's gonna get stuck in my brain, but I either have to put in the effort to make it not be something that bothers me, or I need to just deal with it knowing that I'm not gonna put the effort in. And that's gotten me pretty far. Honestly, that's gotten me pretty far. Kind of doing it right now with this video, because just like random, gonna go off on this tangent about OCD. Part of the reason why for a while I had stopped making podcasts was because it took me so long to make them, because I would have to re-record them like 10 times. I'm not exaggerating. Sometimes like 10 times. Because I was being so perfectionistic about it, and honestly, I just don't care anymore. I'm going to focus on quality without driving myself off the wall. Did you see me correct myself there? Without really bothering myself. Without causing myself distress, I am going to preserve quality while not causing myself undue stress. I think that's the best way of putting it. So, yeah. Alright, so my actual work in progress. So I'm only working on like one knitting project other than my Northeasterly at a time now, and that's because I realized that as someone who's a product knitter, I don't do well when I can't keep track of projects, when I have too many. I know a lot of people, and I've seen a lot of people being like, I'm gonna delve into my whip spin. I haven't worked on this in 10 years. I'm not like that. I like to finish projects. I do have some like cross stitch and embroidery projects, I think, and other like small projects like that are in here and I would like to find and tackle. But in general, I kind of either decide I'm going to work on something or don't, and it's like very active until I decide that I'm not going to work on it anymore, which can get very overwhelming when there's a lot going on. So, yeah, I'm kind of limiting myself. The Northeasterly is going to be my second, like, easy project to work on, besides whatever else I decide to work on as like my main project until the Northeasterly is done, and I think that's good. I was trying to juggle like, oh, I always have socks on the needles and stuff, and that just, it still was overwhelming to me. There was just too much to keep track of, and not making enough progress on things for me to feel satisfied made me just not want to do it at all. So, yeah, I'm really, really paring down the amount of projects that I do, because look what happens when I only work on like one thing at a time. I worked on this by itself, and then I worked on this, and then I worked on this, and that worked so well because I could feel myself finishing things and got the satisfaction of finishing things. So, yeah. Anyway, my project. I'm working on the Midas hat, and I'm using Pearl Scout yarns in Forest Spirit. Fun story about this yarn, I actually traded Victoria for this yarn because they were looking for a Game Boy Advance, and I happen to have an extra Game Boy Advance, so they traded me this yarn and a project bag for Game Boy Advance that I had laying around. It was so cool. I love when stuff like that happens. So anyway, I am working on the brim here. This is just the like, this one has a doubled brim, so like you knit a whole bunch and then you have there's a provisional cast on, so it'll eventually get folded up. I'm only halfway through the brim, but it's good. I like the idea of being able to use up a whole lot of fingering weight yarn and not leave as much behind, and I think the doubled brim will be really good for that. Although it's a lot longer. I didn't do a gauge swatch, so this looks a lot longer than it looked in the picture, so I don't know if it's just me or if the picture looks different, or I don't know, man. I'm just gonna go with it though. Just gonna go with the flow. All right, so I'm gonna go into the chatter section. I know I've chattered a lot. It's been a while though, and we're catching up, right? But I'm gonna go into the full chatter section and work on this hat while we're talking. So if you are not at all interested in hearing me talk about my life and about the crazy things that have happened to me, I'm not gonna talk about crazy stuff, but like, if you're not interested in me babbling about random stuff in my life, then that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. I'll see you next time. I'll see you at the end of next month when we do another one of these things, or maybe earlier than that if I make videos before then. It just depends. I'm working on my master's degree, man. So yeah, anyway, let's chat. So, I'm working on my master's degree. Did I say that enough times now? Yeah, I started in June, and now it is almost February, and I should be done by the middle of February getting a degree in instructional design, which is something that I've been interested in for a few years. And then it just so happened that my very, very good buddy Chris also decided that he wanted to get a master's degree in instructional design. So he told me about the program he was doing. I hopped on board, and yeah, the rest is history. Now he's an instructional designer. I'm an instructional designer because I got a new job. So finishing up my degree, it was the end of last year. I just so happened to see a job posting at my company that they needed an instructional designer, and I was like, hey, I already know this company. I'm about to have a degree in instructional design. This is what I want to do. Hire me. And they did. It was a very long process. I actually had started applying back in August, and then like the first one that I applied for, I didn't even get an interview for. This one, I had 3 interviews, and the 3rd interview, I was told that it was my job. Everyone on my team is super awesome. My new boss is so chill, so cool. She sent me such nice messages today about how well I'm doing, and I'm just like, I haven't done anything yet. What are you talking about? You know? But I'm still learning, and it's been a great month. I started right at the beginning of the month. I started a fresh year. I actually took 10 days off. I had 10, including weekends, I had like 10 full days off at the end of the year, which I've never done before, and then got to start the new year fresh with a new job, and that has been great. I cannot tell you how great that feels. This job is much less stressful than my last job. There's still definitely going to be like stressful situations for sure, even just talking to people, but like it's nothing compared to the absolute chaos of my previous job. I do miss my coworkers because they were super nice, but I have new cool coworkers to work with, which was something I was concerned about. Was like, I'm coming from a team with people that I really, really like. What if I can't find another place that has really cool people? And there's really cool people. So, yeah, huge change. So yeah, I should be finishing my master's degree by the middle of next month. I'm wrapping up my capstone. I am writing so much. I have to work on the section that I don't want to work on tonight, but I'm just gonna put some music on and just kind of, and I think I'm gonna order myself some food as an encouragement. Like, here, Sam, I gave you good food tonight, and you don't even have to cook it. So why don't you type up your literature review? I hate literature reviews so much. But I know that if I just chuck through in a few short weeks, I will be done, and then I can make as many videos as I want. And that's a big thing that I wanted to talk about. I want to start making more videos. I have so many ideas. In the past year, while I've been like kind of laying low a little bit, I have had a notebook by my side where I've just been constantly writing ideas. There's so much that I want to do, and I feel like my creative potential is blossoming now that I have a more creative job and I'm less stressed. I'm ready. I'm ready to make so much. So that's why I want to get myself a camera. I just need to like gather the money together for it and figure out which one I'm gonna get. And that's also going to depend on how the rest of the semester goes, because I'm technically part-time at school and they have to like readjust my tuition stuff for that, and it's been a long process and I'm just ready for it to be done. But anyway, I want to get myself a camera so that I can like make cool videos, because I miss making cool videos. I've already gone full force into garden planning. Pretty much the first week of the year, they sent out the "Do you want to garden with us again" email. Do you want to garden again? And I said, yes, please. And even though through most of last year, I was like, maybe I'll only do one plot this year. Like, I'll dial back to one plot. I didn't do that. So I still have my 2 same plots. So I will try to make more gardening videos this year. I have very good intentions of doing so. Last year did not go well with the garden. That's why I dropped off so rapidly. I think I maybe made 1 gardening video last year and then just I've hid all my old videos because I'm really trying to start from a blank slate. So yeah, what can I say? But yeah, I got like 1 video cranked out, and then it just kind of went downhill from there. I was busy with school. We were going to the Renaissance Fair on the weekends. I was not attending to the garden as well as I should have. I was stressed out because of work, so I wasn't going after work like I had been the previous year. So all that's to say is there were a lot of weeds all the time. I got some cool stuff from the garden, but really it was mostly punctuated. The garden year was mostly punctuated by weeds on top of weeds on top of weeds on top of weeds. So garden planning in full force. I will probably be planning more next month when, you know, I have the free time again. I already bought a bunch of seeds. I already bought, I kind of started laying it out, and then it was just too clean. I feel like I have to have the weird layout every year now. Like, it's what I'm known for. But yeah, I want to just do better. Just always try to do better. I have lots of plans. I'm actually going to give myself a budget this year because, going hand in hand with my trying to clear my stash out, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, I'm trying to just like stop impulse purchasing things to make myself feel better, because it doesn't actually make myself feel better. I feel like it's okay to do that in moderation, but when you're just constantly going like, okay, I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna buy this, I'm just wasting so much money, honestly. So I gave myself a budget for plants, because instead of just buying plants, I want to kind of force myself to take care of the plants that I have better and like use my very luscious seed collection. I do plan, so we get seeds every year with our plots, just like a set of basic seeds, so I'll definitely be giving those away because I have plenty of seeds myself and I'd rather give them to someone to help them start their garden. So I usually get 4 sets of seeds, and I think I'll probably give all 4 sets away this year, so look forward to that. I'll probably include some like other little thingies. That will probably be next month, because it sounds like they're going to try to give out our packets next month with all of our stuff. So stay tuned for that. Other video plans. So like I said, I want to make videos about wardrobe, about my little like wardrobe goals. I'm going to keep doing monthly makes episodes that are going to just kind of mirror my old podcast recipe. I want to make gardening videos. I'm going to make videos, cooking. I've been wanting to do cooking videos. That's why I watch so many cooking videos now, and I cook a lot, and I feel like it could be a fun thing to do. And then I don't know. I have a list. I've been wanting to write a novel, so maybe I'll eventually finally finish writing a novel. I have lots of NaNoWriMos that have gotten halfway through. I think I got about halfway through this past year, and then was like, I need to work on school. I was close though. Maybe it was 30K. I don't know. I didn't finish my last NaNoWriMo, so I'll probably try to do that again this year. Maybe I'll document that whole process. And then stash. So I did a quote-unquote stash down last year where I think I reduced my stash in yardage from 40k yards to like 27k yards, which was a combination of just knitting through it and also donating a lot when I realized that I've been holding on to a lot. I know my stash isn't nearly as big as some people's. It's actually behind me. I got this new cabinet. And the yarn stash takes up this and like a bin now. But what I'm finding is that I don't like holding on to yarn super long. I like the novelty of buying the new yarn. So a lot of the times I'll buy new yarn and just use it right away. And there's still stuff sitting in here. And my tastes have changed a lot. Like I kind of talked about, like I've kind of settled, I think, a little bit into what my taste is, but I just don't want to hold yarn around that long, and it's expensive to buy a ton of yarn and then not use it and de-stash it then and make less money back on it. It's just not working for me, guys. And also like my craft section is overflowing at this point. So a big thing that I want to do this year is just keep chipping away at that so that it can be nice and compact back in this corner without, like, there's a huge pile of fabric on both sides now of like scraps and stuff because I've been doing more fabrics related stuff, quilting, that kind of thing. So I really want to start tackling that and kind of bring you guys along with me on that. So I haven't did I purchase any yarn this year? I don't think I've purchased any yarn yet this year. I've had yarn that I purchased last year that came in. I'm actually still waiting for yarn that I pre-ordered, that I'm waiting to come in, but I haven't physically purchased any yarn this year, and I'm going to try to hold out and see how long I can make it without buying anything. But a big thing that I did to help with that is I made a really fancy spreadsheet that has lots of tabs on it, so that I can track all the projects that I finish each month, which will also help me make this video because I'll be able to keep track of whether I talked about something or not. I also have I have tabs for fiber, for hand spun yarn, and for regular yarn. I keep hand spun separate just because like I know that that's going to go up. If I'm using my stash of fiber, I know that my hand spun is going to go up, so I kind of keep that separate. Yeah, I don't know. And then I have on my like main page of all my yarns, I also have kind of assigned projects to them, at least an idea, so that, you know, there's still room open that if like I decide that I want to do something else, I can pick something else. But mostly it will give me the ability to just kind of go, okay, I want to do a pair of socks. Here's a pair of socks and here's the yarn with it already. I don't have to go through all of that. So I sat down and really like looked into it for a while, and I'm really glad that I did because it's made making projects super, super easy this year. So yeah, I'm gonna keep up with that. What else? I've been reading. I have a reading goal. If you want to find me I'm using Storygraph now, which is an alternative, a non-Amazon alternative to Goodreads. If you didn't know, Goodreads is owned by Amazon. But Storygraph is woman of color owned, and I'm like, hell yeah. So, and it's really nice. I really like the interface. It has a lot of good data in it, and there's challenges and stuff. So I made my yearly challenge in there. I think I just said 22 books in 2022. I'm sure that I'll read more than that because I've already read a few. Right now I'm reading not Harlow, that's the second one. I'm reading Gideon the Ninth, which our friend Chris and my wife read already. So I wanted to kind of catch up so that I could know what they're talking about. And I think Becca's reading Harlow. I think Chris might have listened to Harlow, like the audiobook. So yeah, just trying to like squeeze in some reading for fun. I don't know that I'm like necessarily following the trends. I guess Gideon was kind of like a trendy book, but like last year or the year before. So as usual, I'm behind on the trends, and that's okay because I'm an old lady who's turning 30 this year and I'm not trendy, and that's okay. All right, I'm gonna get going because I want food, and I gotta get to work on some stuff. But I just wanted to thank you guys for joining me again. I am so glad to be back. I hope you guys are doing okay. I miss talking to you guys. I'm going to try to get some more stuff set up soon. Maybe we'll do some lives. Maybe we'll do some craft nights. Maybe I'll set up a Discord again. It's been a while. Yeah, we'll see. I'm looking forward to putting out more videos and getting to talk to you guys. And I will see you again next month. All right. Bye.